I'll get to that in a little bit. Dude might be watching right now. I'm probably going to make it worse, but I'm just going to give you the play-by-play. Fucking Stu. Jesus. Check. I think I got a level. The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast is brought to you this time around by Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. Irvines.com is their website. They service domestic, Asian, BMWs, Mercedes, Audi, Minis, all there with their expert technicians. They are, of course, essential. Want to make sure that your vehicles are running in tip-top fashion. What you do is you call them at 616-202-5538. Say, oh, yeah, man, it's making a clickety-clack noise. There's something wrong with it. They drive to your house, pick up the car, bring it back, repair it. You pay them over the phone. They drop it off after sanitizing it completely, get in your driveway. One more sanitizing takes place. See you later. That's it. That's how you get your car fixed for the foreseeable future. Irvine, 616-202-5538. Still working on getting people the mortgage that they want to be into right now. Also is the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. Call them, key sponsor of this podcast. Right over my shoulder. Irvine's and the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Thank you to them. First-time home buyers, this is key. Don't go anywhere else. If you go bang on the door with some other Joe Schmo mortgage, they see you coming, they're like, oh, God, this guy's only going to buy a $150,000 house. Not worth my time. Screw that. Mario loves that. He wants to make sure that these people get into the mortgage that best suits them. And if your credit sucks, he can get you through that difficult negotiation of getting on the right track. Okay? He's been through it all. There was a time when he was like, oh, God, I'm that guy. I need help. He's here to help you. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. All right. On your mark. Get set. Go!
And now, here's a guy who got tired of being fired by corporate radio. So he took up being fired by Patreon subscribers instead. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Eric Zane Show podcast. This is a daily show, all right? Covering news, nonsense, and my personal adventures, which, let's be honest here, I never really was that adventurous. There were never really a lot of adventures going on. The only time we have adventures is when we go on like a trip or something like that, but there's always something that's stupid that's happening each and every day. What's going on, folks? Glad you are here. First off, let's get this out of the way. In 54 minutes, my dad will join us for Dear Meathead. That's right. He just turned 86 years old on March 17th. I will call him up for Dear Meathead. All right. My advice segment. If you have a question for Dad, send them along, eric@ericzaneshow.com. If you've had a question in the past and it hasn't been read, resend it, please. In the subject line, write Meathead. That's the easiest way for me to filter these out. I just do a simple search on the inbox, and anything that comes up Meathead, that's what I end up asking him. So if you could, that would be fantastic. Send it along, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Keep them simple, just a handful of words. I would appreciate that. The more words, it just kind of gets lost in translation with Dad, if you know what I mean. And if you could, no inside jokes. He doesn't get it, and it kind of makes me feel bad. So just ask him something that's burning on your brain. What do you think about the state shutdown? Fair or not fair? Whatever it may be, ask him. And I'll pass the question along to him, and he'll answer as best as he can with his fantastic better half, Joanne, by his side. If you need anything else answered, if you have any comments or questions about what's going on this show, as always, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Hate mail, been getting a lot of that lately. There's some butt hurt afoot. Okay? Today on Patreon, I'm going to have the drawing for the Fear Bunker Trivia Challenge. We're going to play that again Friday. A handful of you were drawn last week and couldn't make it. So I put you in automatically, okay? But I will be having a drawing to fill up those rest of those spots. That's on Zoom, and man, is it great. We get a whole bunch of you on, like, the screen. We're all engaging each other. I run through the trivia questions. Last person standing wins the $50 from Bennett Flooring Installation. So it's a fun way to sit around for an hour and a half or so, however long it takes. There's no time limit. And you sit around with me. You get to know other listeners. You knock back a few cold ones, or maybe I don't know, whatever it is you're drinking, a White Claw if you're my wife. And then you answer the questions. You get them right, you survive. You get it right, and you advance. Last person standing gets the prize from Bennett Flooring Installation. By the way, thanks to Mike Ball. He threw in a big box of these Little Debbie snacks. The guy is a treat peddler in and around the West Michigan community. He's the king of Little Debbie. So you know you're gonna get your cosmic brownies, your honey bun, your oatmeal cream pie, your nutty buddies, all of that shit. Free to the winner of this week's Fear Bunker Trivia Challenge. Maybe that'll be a runner-up prize. I don't know. But one way or another, you're going to get some Little Debbie stuff. So thanks to Mike. He's a fan on Patreon and a great friend of mine. Him and his lovely family. His better half, Nicole, runs the show. Okay. So that's all, like, the fun things I'm planning for you. The thing about Fear Bunker Trivia, though, is you got to be on Patreon. Yeah, you got to sign up on Patreon. Yet another reason to join the fun on Patreon, where we have an even better bash of podcasting each and every day. If you like this one where you think, oh, man, I really enjoy that. I wish it was longer. Well, I do go longer. Sometimes I go as long as like 50 minutes or an hour. Lately, I've been going a little longer on Patreon. But, for the time I spend here on the free one, that's just, I haven't put out enough energy. As you know, I'm kind of like a crazy idiot. And for me to talk for an hour, hour and a half is just not enough. I need more energy expulsion, so that's what happens on the Patreon, except I don't have any sponsors on it. It is 100% commercial-free because you've supported it. So that's how that works. The sponsors financially support the free one. That's how it happens every day. Thank you to them, as always. They are the best. And that is available for free. But Patreon is a separate entity, separate podcast with all the bells and whistles, just like this one, but you're paying for it, so it's commercial-free. And with that, you get to play games like what we're doing on Friday with Zoom, which it's like, man, I can't believe we didn't start doing this earlier. It took COVID-19 for this to finally be put into place, and when COVID-19 does leave us, this is going to remain. This is great. Can you imagine Fear Bunker Trivia when I'm up at Grayling with all of you and we're all kind of gathered around on the computer? I'm getting a wireless internet installed up north, so that's like the real Fear Bunker up there. So I can be quite literally sitting around a campfire, playing games or doing a podcast with my dad by the fire up in the great northern Michigan landscape. Oh, cannot wait. Cannot wait to get back after it. Stand by. Sometimes I have to like cough or something like that, and I don't want it to be on the mic. It just sounds weird. Hit your cough button. All right. I've got an update on some health things going on. As you know, my brother Norman, sometimes known to the old school audience as Norman Bummer. And Norm is, you almost have to, when he starts talking, you have to interrupt him at some point because he's constantly talking. Yeah, well, hey. He's always got like bummer news, and there's always some type of drama going on. And it's fuck. Come on, man. So he's diagnosed with COVID-19, and he's working his way through it. I know a lot of you have been concerned about that since I brought it up. Norm's like the fifth Beatle. He's the fifth brother. There's five of us. A lot of different dads and moms amongst that mix. Because Norman has a different mother than I. Mike and Paul have a different biological father than me. And Jim and I have the same parents. So it's just a cluster. But we're all brothers, and I love him dearly. He is feeling a little better as of yesterday. So hopefully he is approaching the end of this. And then he can get back after it. Hopefully he will continue to make that recovery. Thank you for your thoughts. My mother on Friday is having breast cancer surgery. This is so damn serious, man. Now, this is not a big tumor or anything like that, but still. And it's never, ever a routine surgery with the elderly, all right? This is serious, serious shit. And in the unlikely event, generally more than unlikely event of something going poorly in that procedure, I will be in Warren, Michigan, sitting in the parking lot of the hospital in my car, waiting for the outcome of that. Like I said, in the unlikely event that something goes wrong, I need to be there. And this is obviously a different scenario. Normally, you'd wait in the waiting room, and then the doc comes out and gives you a briefing. It's not the way it is now. You know, they want as the least number of people as possible in that hospital. And believe me, I don't want to be there. So it's going to be as simple as mom gets picked up from her residence. She's transported by my brother or myself to the hospital, separate cars between Jim and I. She gets dropped off. I mean, at the front. They put her in a wheelchair. See you later. Good luck on your breast surgery. And then she's gone. And then you're sitting in the parking lot like you're chewing on your nails, waiting for this to end. My brother and I will be sitting there side by side in the cars, keeping a fair distance from each other. All right, come get her. And normally this procedure that you spend the night in the hospital, it takes a little while for you to get out of the anesthesia and things like that. And she's not going to be like completely under. They said that they make it like a twilight level of consciousness, which I think means you're like half out, but you're not like deep. With the elderly, the less deep you go in the sedation, the better your chances are of a successful outcome. They err on the side of caution, as you would expect. And then prior to coronavirus, they would keep you overnight. No. Get in, get out. And the least number of people in the operating room, too. They keep it like a skeleton's crew, and they're all in I'm serious, like hazmat suits. The only one who isn't completely hazmated is like the surgeon who I met with. And she went over the procedure with me. I think I've talked to you about that in a past podcast. It's serious shit, man. That's all Friday. So there's a possibility I might not have a podcast for you on Friday. I should say I will have something for you, but I won't have there's a chance I might not have a fresh podcast for you. I might not be live on Friday morning. In the event that this procedure happens at 2 in the afternoon, well, yeah, then I'll do the podcast, then go over to Detroit. No big deal. I can handle that. But if it's an early morning thing, well, then that's just not going to happen for obvious reasons. But if you don't know to the day before, scheduling in the hospital happens the day before, then they call you the day before. All right, you're up for a.m. That's how it works. So when I find that out, then I'll let you know, and then we'll have something there. We'll dig up something either from the archive or I don't know. Maybe I'll record one early. No clue. You know how it is with me. All right, so yesterday was another war. Today is a little bit warring, but not as much. There's still some stupidity that we need to go over here based on all of the nonsense in the great state of Michigan. Now, I like to describe myself going forward as a somewhat moderate Republican, somewhat moderate. I'm not John McCain, a somewhat moderate Republican who believes in common sense. And the common sense is what is being implemented with the state of Michigan. And it is sound common sense that we are going through right now, being led by a Democrat governor who I agree with nothing politically, but I am in lockstep with on how she is handling the state of Michigan with quarantine. Totally get it. I'm all about it. I think she's doing a great job. Not everybody feels that way. And so I've been picking fights. I've never been one to just sit there and let assholes run roughshod and think that they can just plant their flag in something stupid and get away with it. That was the reason for the attack on Garrett Saldano, that quack chiropractor who's been stirring up trouble about this and misinforming the public. And his fucking Facebook group has gotten to a point where he's propagating hate on his site. And also, it's basically a petition on steroids where all these worthless pieces of shit can explain their stupid points of view from a myopic, self-centered viewpoint. And they think that they've completely politicized the process of trying to keep you stupid sons of bitches healthy. All right. So I haven't shied away from that for one second, and at great cost, because, you see, when I sit there and say that I agree with the governor, all these pieces of shit say, well, you're nothing but a bleeding heart liberal. And I'm like, well, no, fucker, I'm anything but. So that's why on my post yesterday I said, hey, for the record, this is who I vote for, and this is who I'm going to vote for. So, I pissed off all these people who say, well, I can't believe you're going to vote for that. Well, I'm only saying that for context, stupid shit, so that you know where I stand. This is so I like to be out front with people. This is what I believe. So, first of all, knock off all the horse shit about who I vote for. I don't indict you. I've made that very clear in this show. I am not I think you're stupid for voting for this person. I would never, ever, ever say that to you. I think that that's pretty sacred. And your beliefs are your beliefs. My beliefs are my beliefs. And there's no war between us. I want you to vote for who you believe in your heart is the right candidate in whatever election that may be. I don't give a shit. I'm concerned about me and me only. I'm not concerned about who my daughter's voting for. I'm not concerned about who my wife's voting for. They feel that way, and and I don't give a shit how they get to that bit of reasoning. If they just don't like the person, well, fuck, I don't care. That's yours and yours only. This is mine. But I put that out there at great risk because people hate people for their voting, who they're voting for. So I had a lot of people hate me because of that part of the post. And then the other half hated me because I'm supporting Whitmer. So I'm in no man's land at great peril. My Facebook likes dropped dramatically. I've dropped like 200 or 300 people. But I'm like, I don't give a shit. This is take it or leave it. If you sorry. You know where you stand with me, and that's it. So I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Completely fucked. But I wouldn't have it any other way. At least you know what I'm all about, right? Well, so that was day 2 yesterday of more warring. Less intense, but I insulted the morons who are driving to the Capitol today. More on that in a second, and that bit of stupidity. So as usual, I'm getting attacked from all sides, and I'm slugging it out with all these idiots. I've got people who, and again, I put who I voted for in that post just for context. And I had people who I liked indicting me because of that. And so I'm fighting. I'm like the U.S. in World War II. I'm fighting in the European battlefront in the South Pacific. Okay, so that's all going on. And then out of the blue, from the back of the room, local fuckhead Stu McAllister comes flying in with a Superman punch to some old boomer who's like a biker. And I had nothing to do with this. I had nothing to do with this. The only thing I did was I did play-by-play. Because this old boomer was pissed about Whitmer and called her Hitler. Well, I don't know why, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back on fuckhead Stu. So Stu comes flying in with a haymaker to the guy and says, whatever, boomer, you're old enough to have actually fought Hitler. That's the one that I saw, that blast. So I wrote, holy shit, from the back of the room, here comes Stu McAllister. He's entered the war. That's it. I then was focused on other things, and that was the end of my day. I might have thrown out a few fuck yous, stuff like that, but I was getting it from everybody. And so, I don't like seeing numbers dwindle. I've spent the last 4.5 years seeing numbers dwindle, from pay to ratings to support on social media to Patreon to podcast downloads to, all this shit. It's always going down. It's never going up. It's always going down. Whatever. It's a fact of life. Nothing I can do about it. At the same time, I couldn't be more comfortable these days the way the podcast is done, but whatever. I'm having fun. If I'm having fun, I hope you are too. So anyway, then I have to go to the store. I was like, okay, this is the big day today. It's a big shopping trip. You need to go to Costco, and then you have to head to Aldi, and then you have to head to Meijer. And there's all sorts of things you must get. I'm giving you 3 lists. Here's your mask. Here's your hand sanitizer. Here's your Ziploc baggies of wipes. Remember to use total precaution. Cough into your elbow. Stay away from other people. Don't talk to anybody. And just get in and get out and get the hell out of there and come home. Okay, I will. Remember, your shoes come off before you get in the house. I'll leave a bucket full of Clorox water. You must wipe down all the products before they come into the house. Put them into a sanitized box. Take off your clothes. Leave the products in the entryway of the door. Someone will come get them. Come inside and get in the shower. Okay, no problem. That's it. Protocol. By the way, she gave me like a list, and she's got like Meijer cake mix, Meijer chocolate chips, and 90% of the stuff I can get at Aldi. But she doesn't want me to get it at Aldi. Like, she wants me to get the Duncan Hines cake mix. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get the Aldi brand. And I know she's going to get pissed. For some reason, she thinks that in some cases the Aldi products stink. But I haven't found that to be true. Everybody in the house loves them. She's the only one. She's like the last one in this endeavor. And then I come back, and 99% of the stuff is from Aldi. And she's like, I told you to get this at Meijer. I wanted Duncan Hines, you stupid asshole. So I'm walking around Meijer. My phone starts buzzing. And, well, what the hell is this? It's a personal message on Messenger through Facebook. And I recognized the name of who sent it, and it turns out it's that older gentleman that Stu was in a fight with. Fucking Stu. Now, I thought he had mentioned this, but it kind of went in one ear and out the other. I didn't remember what it was. But this dude says, Zane, I followed you when you got fired. I followed you. You know it's going to be bad when they give you the resume. I'm like, oh, shit. So here I am sitting in Frozen Foods reading this thing. Zane, I followed you when you got fired from Free Beer. I followed you when you were doing YouTube from your living room. I followed you on BBL. I followed you since. But this is it, Zane. I'm thinking, what did I do? What did I do to this guy, man? I must have told him to go fuck himself or something. Or what? Sensitive dude. I don't know. And this guy, if you get a look at him, he's one of these dudes that, you ever see the movie Mask? Like Sam Elliott, and he's the one who's with Cher in that 80s film with Eric Stoltz as a kid with the fucked up face, and Stoltz's character's family is Cher and Sam Elliott, and hey, how you doing? Well, that's what we're dealing with here. He's Sam Elliott in that movie. All the leather, and he's on a Harley, and he puts on the costume and goes for a ride and listens to fucking Roll Me Away by Bob Seger and shit like that. And he's hanging around all these people that are going on their poker run and fucking, Toys for Tots, all sorts of stuff, America and freedom. That's what this is. So what the fuck is this guy doing? Why is he? I'm unliking the page. I'm never gonna talk to you again, Zane. You have crossed the line. That's it. I'm out, man. Fuck you, Zane. I'm like, what happened? Stu McAllister, he calls him Stu McFuckdick. That's what the guy wrote. Stu McFuckdick made fun of my wife. So fuck you, Zane. And I wrote, well, what the fuck? What are you blaming me for? I didn't do it. Did you? And we had a back and forth. And essentially in the back and forth, I'm like, why the fuck are you blaming me? He goes, because it was on your page. I go, well, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. It's not up to me to. I mean, you knew what you got into when you started a fight. I mean, you showed up and you laid down the gauntlet, which is fair. I don't have a problem with any of the thing you did. And then somebody, which happens all the time on these Facebook fights, Facebook fight. You are wrong and I am right. Stu took umbrage with something you said. I didn't. He decided to fight you, and then Stu's a fucking moron, and he took a shot at your wife. Yeah. So fuck you, Zane. I go, well, that doesn't make any sense. What are you mad at me for? Why am I being punished? Doesn't matter. I'm done with you. I go, well, that's the fucking dumbest, stupidest, childish thing I've ever heard my entire life. This is bullshit. I can't believe I'm the one that's paying the price for fuckhead Stu because Stu said something terrible about your wife. Fuck. Now, what Stu said was fucking terrible. I'm not, I better not say it. I don't want to say it. You'll have to find it on your own. It's just, I should probably delete it, but I don't even know where it is. I don't even know where the fucking thing happened. It's just shit. It's just all shit, and then I call Stu. I go, Stu, what the fuck, man? And he's laughing. I go, Stu, this guy's gonna kick your ass, man. He's no bullshit either. I mean, he's got it. You should. I stalked him on Facebook. He hangs out with people in those parties that are like in fields and shit with big bonfires going on, and there's a guy with a machine gun behind it just shooting randomly into the air. This is fucking rootin' tootin' cowboy shit. You want to fuck with this guy? Fucking Stu's laughing the whole time like it's a big joke. What a fucking moron, Stu. Thanks a lot. Son of a bitch. That's all I need. Look, Stu, I have enough problems on my own. I don't need you reaching out to Sam Elliott and dogging Cher for no particular reason. I mean, his wife has nothing to do with it. I don't understand why you would do something like that. I would never do that. Holy crap. All right, I didn't even get to what I wanted to talk about here. It's got to be one of those shows, okay? Remember, I need you. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. You got to reach out to me with an email from my dad for Dear Meathead, okay? All right, so that is the open, and it is brought to you by my friends at TC Paintball. There's going to be a time when we're going to have another paintball party. I would like you to pay for it in advance if you can. That helps Rick out. Now, the already reduced rate of $35 for that party is dirt cheap when we do it, because you're going to get a free pizza party. You're going to get 500 paint shots. You're going to get the mask. You're going to get the gun. Normally, that's $45 plus. You're going to get it for $35. How do you pay for that? What's going on, Zane? Well, go to tcpaintballgr.com or call them at 616-249-8227 and get a $100 gift certificate for $90. That's even more savings. TC Paintball, if you're a paintball fan or you want to join me at the next party, that's what you do. tcpaintballgr.com. Speaking of guns, I've got two gunsmiths on the show. They're a husband and wife team. Benjamin and Kyle Newton. I'm getting new people on the show all the time, so it's worth mentioning. Kyle is Benjamin's wife. And Benjamin is not married to a dude. She is a beautiful lady named Kyle. Now, I think the very first time I did a commercial for these guys, I did, in fact, refer to Kyle as like a dude or some shit. So she wanted to whip my ass. She's all lady. Trust me. They're both gunsmiths. They want to repair your gun. They want to sell you a gun. They want to customize and modify your gun. All right? You get where I'm going with this? In their shop on their premises. They work on weaponry from people all around the country. If you need something taken care of, you need a firearms transfer perhaps, call BK Guns and Stuff. 616-902-2447. 616-902-2447. And finally, sponsorships on the open. A&E Heating and Cooling, offering Comfort Maker heater and air conditioners, which are the best in the business, all right? That's who Joe works with, and that's what he installs into your residences. Comfort Maker heaters and air conditioners. Here's this month's promo. You call up Joe at 616-516-8579 in West Michigan, and you're like, hey, man, this thing's screwed up. It's not working. Normally, just to get him out there, it's going to cost $65. The meter starts the second you hang up the phone. Not so anymore. That's waived. Everybody gets that free. And then when he determines what's wrong and he gives you an invoice, he says, hey, this is how much it's going to cost to fix that, which already is lower than every other specialist in West Michigan. You're going to say, hey, Zane Show listener, he's going to go 10% off. That's how it works. At A&E Heating and Cooling, call up Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579. Just one of a long list of amazing sponsors that have put my show on the map. All right. One of the things we came up with on the show was the idea that we would do the Eric Zane Show podcast small business shout out. And the idea was I put a post on Facebook and I said, all right, everybody, I want you to leave your small business name, your phone number, what it is you do on the page, and I'm going to, one by one, day after day, get you on the podcast to maybe put a kick into the pants of your business during all of this horse shit that's going on now. And that still stands. You can still add to that list. It's at the very tip top of my Facebook page. All right? Pinned up there. It's Uncle Sam rolling up his sleeves. Put your business on there, please. You don't need somebody to nominate you. Like this guy I'm going to bring in here right now, Mike Biggery from Grow Beyond. He put his business's name up there, and it's his turn to join us on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Small business shout out. Mike Biggery, which is kind of a fun name to say. It's one letter away from something very bad. If you're that NASCAR driver, you might say that. I'm really concerned with the direction this is going right now. Mike Biggery.
Good morning.
Mr. Mike, how are you?
Yeah, this is Mike.
How are you, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Oh, man, never better. Grow Beyond, when I first saw it show up on Facebook, I was like, is this like a hydroponics place? Have you ever heard that?
Yes, I actually have.
I was like, oh, yeah, this is, we can talk. I mean, I already have a hydroponics company that is sponsoring the show, but I thought, what the hell? This is what the small business shout out is all about, a little moment to shine. But that is not the case at all, right?
That's right. We are quite the opposite.
Your business is a company that, if I'm understanding this correctly, you help companies establish a digital footprint and the ability to have commerce online. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, we are web developers. We do websites, e-commerce sites, and point-of-sale systems for small to medium-sized businesses.
Okay. So let's say you have a guy who has an idea and he wants to market his product. He calls your company and you establish a plan and actually puts rubber meeting road to put that in place. Correct?
Well, actually, no, we don't do the marketing. We just
Yeah, I know, but I meant
we build them
I was referring to the like infrastructure.
yes, yes. So we put together a whole plan for their business. Really, the idea behind the company was I also built an entire back end system that runs their business. So it's giving them one place for their customer to go besides a brick and mortar store, and the entire back end. They can do bookkeeping and payroll and invoicing, everything all in one spot. Just a way to save cost, because when you get into using multiple places, it's costing companies a lot of money.
You're like kind of like an insurance policy because, like, I have a friend who has a brick and mortar store, Strider's in Granville, and he sells shoes. And this is probably gonna piss him off. Had he established what it is that you can establish, there's some real survivability in COVID-19 times to this type of commerce.
Yeah, there really is. Every industry really can be online and sell online. One of the conversations I had the other day was about CPAs, and they all have websites, and especially our local ones, and they all just say what they do. But why can't I go on there and pick the package that I want, pay for it, upload my documents, have you get to work for me?
Yes.
So those are the types of things that people aren't thinking about. I mean, let's level the playing field. That's what I want to do. I think we can all be online and have a presence and do business that way.
I think it's a great tandem if you have a actual brick and mortar store because you have that revenue stream from the people who just like to go into the store. But I mean, let's be honest. I mean,
Yep.
there's such a to have that additional path that in the horrible event like we're experiencing right now, I mean, you got a puncher's chance to survive.
Well, it's interesting. My customers that are still partially open that have a brick and mortar, they can't have customers in. They're almost doubling in business right now with online sales.
Wow.
It is flat out impressive. I actually am one that believes that our entire future is going to be completely changed. I don't think people are going to be going into brick and mortar like we used to. I saw something on Facebook the other day that really kind of touched me a little bit. It said the first hug after this is going to hit a little bit differently. And I am one of those people that will shake your hand, give you a hug. I think we're all going to be just a little bit reluctant.
Oh, I know I will. I'm going to go like the Japanese and bow. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I might try that.
Yeah, we got to bring back the bow. We got to bring out the bow. We got the one thing, I mean, we can take from Japan, like Godzilla movies. Those are great. Bowing, technology. I mean, it's we got to adopt this. The handshake is done.
Yeah, it pretty much is. It pretty much is. Well, and I think the curbside pickup, I think that's here to stay. People order online,
Yeah.
Stop and pick it up.
Yeah, and even if it's just, I mean, you have if you have the ability to do it, and some don't do it online, but I'm telling you they will. In fact, there are still businesses that can reach out to you now who are struggling. Can you help get them on the right path? How long does it take? Is it a quick process for like my friend Jeff at Strider?
So it really just depends. It really just depends. If they have all their, if they have a logo and plenty of content, know their inventory well, I mean, the process is really pretty simple and inexpensive. I'm actually offering 35% off of all services because we're in dire times. I don't want to see anybody go under. That's not fair to any of us.
No.
We all fought hard for where we're at. And I mean, in a way, standing here in my home office, I'm putting out my hand to every single small business owner because I don't want to see anybody hurt.
Of course not.
I mean, this is how you provide. So,
all right. So, if someone wanted to reach out to you and get the ball rolling on this, what is the best way to proceed, Mike?
So the best way to proceed is either give a call at the office. That is 616-482-0031. Or you can go to the website and it's Grow Beyond, GROBEYOND.com. And you can email us from there at info@GrowBeyond or Mike at GrowBeyond.
Damn it. This is awesome. How did you find out about me? Because I saw you actually made the post on there. Had you been listening in the past, or did someone tip you off?
No, I've been listening.
Oh, thank you.
I've been listening. Always been a big fan, man. I love your realness and approach to what you do. So it strikes me because that's the kind of person I am.
Now, I've been very aggressive and pissed off the last few days. Have you caught any of that?
Yes, and I love it.
Yeah, sometimes when I have a temper tantrum, I can hear the voice of my wife going, "Uh-oh, you did it now." But
it's funny. I think you're spot on. I'm seeing what you're saying about them going down and protesting. It's insane. I mean, at this point in time, let's stop talking about left versus right and stop being stupid. Just stay home, do your part. Let's all stay safe, and we'll kick this thing.
Mike, I like the way you talk. I like the way you talk. I like the idea of your business. I'm very impressed with that. Grow Beyond, GROBEYOND.com. Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mike, you're a good man. I appreciate you, and I'll be in touch. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Zane. Have a great day, buddy.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That is Mike Biggery. There's a learning curve on that delay. You noticed I did step on him once or twice. There was a slight delay. Sometimes that happens on the Skype deal. But you got to, resist the urge to talk when there's silence. Like, if you finish a question and there's silence, on their end, they're still hearing you talk. So that's why there's that weirdo silence. And you just got to, don't say another word, because then he's going to start talking and hear the next word that you're saying, and it's going to go, the whole world's going to explode. That's interesting. Yeah, if you are a business that, for whatever reason, you can't move whatever it is you're selling online, my God, you have been walking on a tightrope with no net. I suggest somebody like Jeff at Strider's, you call Mike now, right now. Stop watching the podcast and call him. And I'll bet you by the early next week, you can be selling shit again. I look no further than, and I'm not doing an ad for him right now, but Horizon Hydroponics is killing it. These dudes, if you were to go to their website, first of all, it looks great. And everything can be bought on that site. If you want, you can pick it up if you're in West Michigan. But, and they ship it everywhere. This is so great. They are prepared for this. Well done. And if you're not prepared, I'm not going to look and say, "Oh, way to go, stupid." But you got to fix this shit, or you're in deep, deep caca. All right. Thanks to Mike. Mike Biggery. Biggery. Fun. Dear Meathead in a little bit with Dad. I cannot wait for that. Eric at ericzaneshow.com if you have a question for Dad on Dear Meathead. I see we got a handful of people there. Dean, Justin, Bleeding Heart Brian. Just to name a few. I'll try to get as many as I can. If you've sent a question in the past, and I have not read it, it may have fallen through the cracks. Resend it with subject line, Meathead, please. If I don't read it, then I'm like, there's something wrong that I just can't. I don't know right now, but just keep that in mind. So if I haven't read it, resend it for me. That's what I'm getting at, because it shows up as already read, and I'm like, well, I don't need to look at that one. It's very confusing to me. So that's what I'm asking you to do. I don't know why it took me 10 hours to say that. I don't know if you heard the story about the 93-year-old lady in Pennsylvania who has gone viral, and I'm so happy about this. Her name is Olive Veronese from Seminole, Pennsylvania. And last Thursday, the news story, I don't know how the news channel got tipped off, but you got this 93-year-old lady holding up a sign from her house and holding it out the window. It says, "I need more beer." And she's holding up like the silver bullet, Coors Light. Now, if you're 93 years old and you have the faculties still with you, like Olive does, and you have the sense of humor to write, "I need more beer," you know that at one point, Olive was just a dervish in the bed. In fact, I wouldn't put it past her to have a few of those beers and on the dry erase board, erase the word beer and write in black dick. Because if you're wily enough to write, "I need more beer," guys, at 93 years old, so that people will bring you beer, you know that that's in her playbook too. And maybe not now, maybe I'm just being stupid, but you know that there was a time when Olive was getting double stuffed. So this is the story of Olive Veronese getting the beer. This has turned out to be just a great story. She has gotten the beer.
A desperate plea from a 93-year-old local woman who says she's running out of supplies during the outbreak. She says she's running out of beer. 93-year-old Olive Veronese held up a Coors Light can and a sign that said she needs more beer while doing her part to stay home and safe. A relative snapped this picture and posted it online. Since then, folks have been sending some brews her way.
Oh, some.
I have a beer every night. I got some in there now. Do you want one? Something to relax, I think it's nice. Something for a young lady.
Sense
wow,
of humor.
More than 2.5 million people saw that original picture posted on the KDKA Facebook page.
Olive's a flirt. Olive's a big-time flirt. And I think she'd give it up. I really do. She's a party animal. And the images that you see of Olive in this story is she's surrounded by cases of the silver bullet. The porch is just walled off with cases of Coors Light. And she's just like, yeah. And it's like, and I like how she says, I like to have a beer to relax. Bullshit. She's sitting there funneling the beers. She's shotgunning them. She's doing a keg stand. And then the lights dim, and you know what happens. Holy shit. Olive is a handful. God love her. She is an absolute treasure. Fantastic. All right. Let's see. What do I want to get to next? I'm a little lean on time because I got like 8 minutes left until I can call Dad. I think we can get into. You see, I'll just get after it. This is there's two stories that I wanted to do together, but I'm going to split them up. But let me just give you an overview first. Today is the day that all these assholes, I guess, some of them or all of them, I have no idea how many, are supposed to drive to the state capital of our great state of Michigan and drive around like dicks to protest the order to quarantine. And they think, well, this is excessive. We shouldn't have to do this. This is stupid. So off they go. And there's another story about a local fucking old saggy-faced asshole who is I think it's called the township supervisor of this little fucking town. And this asshole is going out of his way to say, the state of Michigan can't enforce anything. Go out and landscape to your heart's content. I say so. This asshole did this long-winded post on Facebook. Some son of a bitch. His face looks like a fucking bulldog's. Saying, yeah, I'm not going to enforce anything. Well, you know, the state's attorney general had a little bit to say about that, and this pussy backed down like you wouldn't believe. So I got to get to that, too. But I got to break these stories up. Fuck it. I'm going to call Dad. Because 6 minutes, I don't want to rush through these. I want to meticulously, with surgical precision, rip every single player in these two stories a new asshole, okay? I want to get up into the ass with a big-ass wire brush, metal, you know, and up the ass and then twist it and angle it so it gets all of the asshole. And then I'm going to twist it like I'm starting a fucking Model T. And then back and forth a few more times till the asshole is actually the size of a Folgers can. And then that's what I want to do. So I'm not going to get into it now. I'm going to go out of my way to stall as much as I can. And just know that after I speak with Dad on Dear Meathead, that I'll be taking great time to do this to idiots going to Lansing and local bulldog-faced son of a bitch. All right. That ought to do it. That ought to do it. By the way, any questions, comments, concerns, if you're woman enough or man enough to approach me via email or to my face when you see me on the street, go right ahead. I fucking dare you. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I don't give two shits about your fucking feelings. All right. Let's reach out to my legendary 86-year-old father. It is time to call Dad. Dear Meathead, commences now.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dad. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am never better, Dad. Things are going well here. How are things at your place?
Everything is so great. I'm digging dirt. I'm digging gardens. I'm doing whatever I have to do.
You know,
everything is just peachy.
Dad, not a lot has changed on your end. Yes.
Yeah, we still have the same situation. We're quarantining ourselves, basically, but we do go for a 2-mile walk every day. Of course, we wear our safety personally, so we don't see anybody, really, except we go at the early hours of the morning, which is as soon as we're done, we're going to go for a walk and come back and have breakfast. And then around noon, women and their husbands and their dogs and kids all start walking, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time. Hey.
So we try to keep out of their way, you know.
In fact, I just had something pop into my head that I wanted to read to you, my first question. But before we get going, have you talked to Norman?
Yeah, a couple of times a day.
Have you talked to him today, or is that...
No, I have not spoken with him today. I let him sleep till about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
Yeah, you know, when he called you and told you that he had fallen ill with COVID, your heart had to have dropped, huh, Dad?
Well, he never said that in those words. It took a little time, and then he come up with it. He says he's got it.
Well, yeah, but Norm.
Yeah, I did. I really, I just damn near panicked.
Yeah, the problem is it takes him like 5 hours to tell you anything. So,
Yeah.
Once he came up with it, that was definitely scary. Everybody's been pulling for him. I've been talking about it here, and I've gotten lots of people that reached out and said, "Hey, I sure hope your brother Norman is doing better." So that's.
I think that's a wonderful thing you're doing, honey. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
That's great. That really is great, honey. He's all by himself in that house.
Yeah.
And some friends, 2 dogs. He's babysitting 2 dogs.
Oh God. Yeah, I imagine he doesn't have a lot of energy, so I hope he can get somebody to assist him. I would love to go over there, but I can't. But I don't dare do that.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Let him handle what's going on there, and hopefully everything is all right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm so helpless because I can't do nothing. I want to take him food and all that. I can't do that.
Yeah, I know.
And he don't exactly live next door to me. It takes about 3/4 of an hour to get to his house.
All right, Dad. I got some things I want to read to you. One in particular is burning on my brain from a gentleman in upstate New York by the name of Jim. Now, you need to know Jim is he's a little bit rough around the edges. I've seen him interact with others, fans of the show, and he doesn't mess around. So, with that as a back,
talking about language-wise?
No, just about his handling of things. So,
okay,
this is what he writes: Dear Meathead, my house has a playground near it. And when I see kids playing basketball, their ball goes into my yard. Kids are out there playing all day since school is not in session. And often when the ball comes over the fence, I get it for them. And then I say, hey, you should not be playing right now. You should be social distancing. And the kid, he responds with, the kids always say, we're too young for that. And they never listen. Jim writes, I've even called the police, and they advise that if the kids are there, then they are staying out of trouble. All right. So then Jim writes, so yesterday the ball went over the fence, and before they should come get it, I took out my knife and I cut it and ruined it.
Oh,
when they came over, I told them that it must have hit my rake or something and popped it. They, of course, were upset, but I felt I was doing it for their own good. They asked me to replace it, and I informed them that it was not my responsibility. Then he writes, I do plan on buying a new one after the virus is under control. And apparently they can't afford to buy a new one since they haven't been out playing since. Did I do the right thing, Meathead? Should I have minded my own business, and should I buy them a new ball now or wait until the virus is under control? Please embellish, Jim in upstate New York. Now, when he said that, I wrote it back, and I go, is this true? And he said every word of it. And I said, well, I don't think my dad's going to like this. I think you're in trouble. And he wants to hear what you think, Dad. What do you think about all this?
Well, he's not in trouble with me as far as that goes. His own personality is bothering him right now, that he did something that it was not proper. It wasn't proper to deflate the ball, and that's anger, really. But it's not a good thing that these kids are playing, and it's really irritating someone else. That is a wrong thing for those kids to do to begin with. The problem is the parents of those kids. The parents are not backing Jim up. Hey, these kids, I don't agree with the fact that they have to play in the street.
Uh-huh.
It's dangerous one way or the other. And then if they want to play basketball, there is no place in the street. They have to go to a court or somewhere, and that's not available to these kids. The parents of those kids are lame as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, wow. So you're okay. The parents should not
I'm
be.
going deep.
Okay.
Those parents have to say, listen, this is bad time of the year. This is what life is all about. You shouldn't be doing this.
Uh-huh.
It irritates people that the ball goes there all the time. I would be upset just as much. And then, suppose they have a gate. If the ball goes there and there's nobody around to throw the ball back in, they're going to climb the fence and do that.
Yeah. Well, and what if the ball's got coronavirus on it?
Well, I'm not even going that route. That's just irritating. If someone is doing that to my yard, I would not be excited with it.
All right. So you're kind of in support of this guy.
I'm in support of him.
Oh my God, it surprises me.
No. Hey, you can't keep saying, "Oh, the kids let him go." No, the kids got to be taught something.
All right. Very good.
That's my strong feeling.
I bet you Jim is pumping his fist right now.
Hey, Jim is doing all right. Jim should go further and bust up the chops.
Oh!
No, I don't mean that really.
Oh, yeah, you do.
No, the kids should have a place to play in, but the street is not the place.
Well, you know what's honestly, but he is right. Kids shouldn't be playing together right now. I mean, if you're in the same household, yes.
Absolutely not.
But, I mean, you can spread this virus. That's what we're talking about here.
Listen, let me just tell you a little story.
Yeah.
First of all, the parents should be adamant about the fact that they're out in the street. You're right, absolutely. I don't care how old they are. We have a granddaughter that is definitely an outdoors girl.
Yeah.
Well, the mother says you are not going out, and she's of age.
Uh-huh.
She's an adult age.
Right.
But she wants to get in the car and travel around. No, and she has been quarantined ever since this manifested.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
She held on to her word. So what's the matter with the parents that are allowing the kids to go out there?
Yeah, it's not a vacation. It's a lockdown, you know?
Sure.
All right. Dean writes this. Dear Meathead, what is or was your favorite alcoholic beverage to drink?
Oh, everything. No, I enjoyed the mixed drinks, but beer was number one.
Oh, yeah.
But what did you want? Yeah, I enjoy a scotch.
Really? I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. I did. Oh, yeah. And then when everything ran out, then I found some other potion.
Now, it's worth repeating. We may have talked about this. You were a little bit of a work in progress because early on in the process to stop drinking, you didn't really want to. And didn't you go the way of purchasing a beer that had a label that you guys didn't recognize? I think it was Stroh's or something like that. And
some $2 a case.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you convinced Joanne that they were non-alcoholic, but they weren't?
I don't know. Yeah, she said I did.
I think you did. I think because I remember you calling them poppers.
Yeah, but I bought that beer that's 1% non-alcohol, 2% alcohol.
All right.
And then I drank like 14 cases of those because it wouldn't do nothing. You know?
All right.
No, the whole thing was a charade. But when you're in a habit, you know,
that's tough. That is tough. That is
but
tough.
she drew the line that hey, it's this or that, you know. So I took to this. Quit drinking.
All right. So, this is weird. Justin writes, hey, Meathead, because of the coronavirus lockdown, some cities are seeing different types of animals walking into town since people in cars are not around. And that's true. What kind of animal would you like to see walking around your neighborhood?
Well, I really don't think I'm in favor of any animals walking around in the neighborhood. But then again, deer would be the best thing I would care for. But then again, if I had a garden, which I do, they get in there and destroy that, you know.
Wouldn't you want to see like a hippo or a lion or?
No. What am I going to do with a hippo and a lion, you know? I mean, you know, they kill you and then they ask what my name was. No, I would just, the only deer I would like is maybe a dog or maybe a deer, you know. Other than that, no.
Well, all right. Now, Dad, Megan is somebody who you've given some advice to. You gave her some advice about playing with the kids, and she's been doing that. They actually bought a trampoline, and they've been having a lot of fun.
That is great.
Yeah, and that's all because of you. And so she took that to heart, and she said, today we're going to jump in the snow because we just got some snow, which is incredible.
That is great.
Yeah, so she's very thankful for that. But she wants to know, have you been following the story about these people protesting in Lansing over the?
Yes, I just heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
How do you feel about the protests happening in Lansing, Michigan today, Dad?
First of all, I don't know what effect this has on those people's lives. Second of all, safety of being alive is an important factor. I think the governor is doing a great job. This has to happen. I have been locked in this house, which I'm an outdoors person, ever since this has occurred. Now, you don't think I'm having a good time.
No, that's right.
But it's the rule. We do, however, walk 2 miles a day with safety, mask and whatnot.
Of course.
We keep away 6 feet from everybody. People are coming on one side of the street. We're on the other side of the street. You got to follow these things, my God.
Yeah.
And none of these things are said for anybody else's safety but your safety.
Well, all of these kooks have politicized it, and they think that they're not even, seeing the obvious thing that they can die. They don't believe that it's as bad as everybody says it is, even though there's massive amount of death. They think it's all a myth. And they so they think that these are the type of people who scream freedom and they claim to be patriots and all this other nonsense.
They're radicals, totally radicals. I mean, what benefit does the governor have by quarantining you not to be on the road?
Exactly.
She likes him to either because you can sell gasoline on the cars, people go out there to the stores and all that. But my God, she's thinking of the safety of being alive. Are these people a bunch of idiots?
Yeah,
Dad. Can't think that much?
No, I think they can't think for themselves. They're a bunch of lemmings being led by like-minded idiots.
No, they're just rebellious idiots.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Dad, Matt writes this. Dear Meathead, my wife and I just got a new house. She told me...
Congratulations.
And, yeah, absolutely. And he says she told me that I can get a dog. Now, our daughter, Meathead, is 18 months or so I want the dog to be good with her as well. Well, what breed of dog should I get? You are awesome, and I look forward to hearing you on the show every week. Thank you in advance. Signed, Matt.
Matt, my favorite dog is a Labrador.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm selfish maybe, but that's for me. However, I think a bigger dog for a child is really not a bad idea because that dog will get to love that child. Believe you me, a child growing up with a dog and you teach him how to love the dog, it's just a gimme. It's a gift of God.
Oh, yeah.
Because that dog will not leave the side of that child.
I'm going to go with, I'm going to say I agree with that. Either black lab, yellow lab, white lab, gold.
Any kind of lab. But however, any dog would be a good dog.
Golden I love the Goldens because they just look so fluffy and happy all the time. And then maybe even a shepherd. I'd say that's what you do, Matt.
They're all good. I'm a big dog lover. However, if my wife really insists that she has a little dog, she can have a little dog. But
yeah.
God, she don't insist.
I gotta introduce you to Benny, the one-eyed wonder dog. You haven't met Benny.
No, I haven't.
Now Benny is the fourth one. Okay, that's the one that Jackie brought home and just dropped into our lap.
Right.
Now this dog I don't know his history, but I think some bad things happened to this dog way back when because if you use any tone of voice other than loving, he gets scared, so you gotta be really careful with that guy. You gotta. If you don't talk sweet to him, he gets his feelings hurt. So, I know you would love that dog, man, and he's a good dog.
Oh, I would love any dog.
Yeah, I know it.
But I definitely would love that.
Oh, yeah. I know you're a soft-hearted guy.
Oh, my God, yes. The only one big reason that intrigues me about a dog is the fact that they return a love. You love them, they'll love you. In fact, if you don't show them love, they'll still love you.
People are the same way.
Yep.
People are the same way,
That's
too,
exactly
but
right.
sometimes I like to kick them to the curb.
Yep, kick him to the curb. All right, Dad, I'm gonna end on this. No, this is an email from a wonderful. Well, they're all wonderful, but Joe in particular is just another sweetheart of a dude. He writes this: Dear Meathead, I listen to Eric's stupid podcast. Just kidding, Eric. And you and Joanne are the best part. You both are the sweetest souls. He writes,
Oh, my God.
Listen to this. You're gonna love this. He really enjoyed the time when you told a story about when you were at church and you at first you weren't into it and then all of a sudden you had like an awakening. Do you remember when you told me that story?
Yes.
Well, he really enjoyed that, Dad. And then he adds, can you please tell us how you and Joanne met? Please embellish. Your friend Joseph.
Oh, my God, that's a 10-minute story. Actually, I was a single guy living in my 7 apartment, and I met a bunch of guys from a department, and we hit off, and we're doing good. And there was a place that called, what was the name of that bar? Whatever it was. We started hanging around there. There were 5, 6 of us together. And then the singer of that place all of a sudden I took a fancy to her and all that jazz, and things went on. And then the singer, which is a female, had a girlfriend named Joanne. That Joanne would stop in that place also. So I met her, but we did not officially get introduced or anything else. But one night we were just sitting there, me and the guys and all that, and I'm sitting at the same table as she's sitting there with her girlfriends. And we started dancing.
Aha.
And it was okay. But then again, in the meanwhile, I'd taken a fancy to the singer.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to date her, which is a girlfriend of Joanne, a real close friend. So we I ended up asking her girlfriend out. She said, sorry, but not interested. But
yeah, you got shot down big time.
Yeah, and then somehow or other, I guess I really, it's been so long ago, I asked for her phone number, and she wouldn't give it to me. Because she had 2 children and so forth. She was very close to her kids and didn't want nobody to mess around with them.
Yeah.
And somehow I went home and started thinking, what the hell? I really like Joanne. She looked good too. And I called her, I guess, sometime. And no.
How did you get her number?
What did you say, Joanne?
I said I told you I'd meet you over there and see how we felt about it.
Oh, yeah. So we met again. Didn't want to know. She wanted to know how she felt. She wasn't into me as far as that goes. Yeah, and somehow or other, we did.
Yeah, she said, all right. So she was kind of like, maybe I'll just see.
She thought I was a funny guy.
Yeah, I'll just give him a shot to maybe he can prove that he is worthy. And
and then also she was very protective of her kids. Didn't want nobody hanging around there and all that.
That's tricky business. I mean, you had to.
And I really appreciated that.
Oh yeah.
But somehow or other, I did some screwy thing like. I got a half in a bag when I got invited to dinner at their house, and then she had her girlfriend, her husband there, and those two decided to kick me to the curb. Forget it. This guy is,
Oh, okay. They didn't.
I showed up half in a bag.
Oh, they didn't like you. They're like, hey, listen, Joanne, don't waste your time with this guy. He's a problem.
Yeah, they told me, hey, get rid of him, But Joanne was very wise.
Oh boy.
She says, "Oh, I get a chance," and well, we dated. And
did you ever have communication with those 2 people that said, "Hey, kick him to the curb"? I mean, did it ever did you become friends with them?
Oh yeah, we turned out to be good friends.
Okay.
And then one of them was Tom Alexander.
Yeah, I know Tom very well, of course. Very dear friend.
Tom was out cool with me.
Okay,
at
good.
that point. And then as he got to know me, But my whole main point is that how we got to know each other, and it was a question of perseverance.
Yeah.
She
Well,
persevered, and I persevered, and I had an interest in there, and
the rest
it
is
worked
history.
away, and then here we are 30, 40 years later.
my
What is it,
God.
40 years, honey? Seems like it. It seems like 40 years.
Wow. All right. Well, Dad, I tell you what, I'm sure Joe's and everybody who heard that is very thankful to have heard that story. That's fantastic how you guys came to be. So, all right. Well,
Hey, listen, I want to thank the audience. This has been a very busy audience.
they're great. They are the best.
I'm really pleased to speak with them, and they're great people. And I just love them. Believe me, I love them on the telephone, but just talking to them like that,
Yeah, I know.
So you're doing a good job by keeping me involved in that.
Yeah, I wish I had the ability to bring them in, but I don't have that capability, and this is fun too. Just letting you reading it to you.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah, it works out. Well, Joanne, Dad, I love you guys very much. I really appreciate it. Be safe and.
All right, honey. Say hello to the rest of the family, and especially that one-eyed puppy.
Oh, yeah, Benny. My God, yes, for sure. All right.
Like him a little bit.
Stay healthy.
Okay. Hey,
Stay healthy and keep away from crony people.
Yeah, we're trying, Dad. We're doing our best. Okay.
Okay, honey.
Okay, I'll talk
Love
to you
you.
guys.
I love the audience, man. You guys are a great bunch of people. I love you all.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Okay, see ya. Dear Meathead, once again, if you want a T-shirt with Dad's face on it, I think it says "Hey Meathead" or "Dear Meathead" on it, and his face is it's got this handsome, beautiful face with his shock white hair. It's at my website, ericzaneshow.com. Costs you $25, free shipping. Man, that's awesome. You guys are great. Now, I know I don't get to all the questions. Please don't be discouraged by that. Keep sending. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. After a period of time, the alarms go off in my head and say, all right, wrap it up. The program director in my brain says, okay, cut it. Enough. Let's see. Craig wrote, do you let your son kiss you with that filthy whore mouth? He wanted me to ask my dad that. Apparently, Craig, referring to the occasions when I will say nasty words. He says, by the way, I was kidding. Love the segment. Well, I hope you like the swearing, too, because it's going to get really, really bad now. I'm telling you, it's coming. It is coming. All right. Where are we, man? We're an hour and 20 into this thing. Thanks again to my friends at the Kent County Health Department for being on board with the show. All right? They want to make sure that you have access to the WIC program. I know that sounds screwed up, but that's a thing that's been called upon a lot. Since a lot of people just, suddenly they're socked right between the eyes with issues of getting laid off and shit like that. 616-632-7200 to get the quickest info possible. Reach out to them, 616-632-7200. They got a page that I've linked up. Just click on the Kent County Health Department logo at ericzaneshow.com. Take advantage of this, folks. It's there for you. Doesn't have to be in Kent County, too. Call your local health department. This is funded nationally, and it is there for you to take advantage of. Call your local health department today. If you're in beautiful Kent County, Michigan, the biggest county where this show is heard, 616-632-7200. Baldwin Ace Hardware up north, still in business. They are essential. They can sell paint and lawn and fertilizer supplies. More on that. You thought, I thought we couldn't buy that in Michigan. You can buy it. That's all been propagated by these crazy kooks that are going to Lansing. You can buy paint and fertilizer. There's just a stipulation that they're not telling you. Baldwin Ace Hardware is one of those places where you can. All right. The oasis of DIY awesomeness in the Northland is Baldwin Ace Hardware. I'm going to need each of you to buy something from there because that one pussy reached out to me on Facebook and said, I'm going to call your sponsor and tell them I'm not going there anymore because you were mean. Shut up. Thanks to Baldwin Ace Hardware. Don't be intimidated, Eric. That's what somebody told me. Don't be pushed around by them, Eric. No problem. Meanwhile, the managed IT service provider for this show, helping small and medium-sized business during this shit show time, is Blue Frost IT, the #1 managed IT service provider in the great state of Michigan and beyond. And they can help you wherever you may be, not just in the great state of Michigan. They do it all remotely. They've got a business in place where basically you can do it all over the phone and electronically. So if you're a business that has a bunch of people at home working from home and 3 of the 10 people you have working for you, their computers suck and they need some work done, you call on these guys. The hourly quick fix rate has been reduced dramatically by like 50%. 616-200-85. I'm sorry. Did I get that wrong? No. I had it right. 616-200-8550. 616-200-8550. They're online at bluefrostit.com. Right there. That's the sign. Thank you to them. All right. It's about to get ugly again right now. I have 2 stories of filth and nonsense and debauchery, and I'm really pissed about it. And let's get to it. Story number 1. The protest in Lansing, Michigan. All these asshole groups have got together and have said that they have politicized this very, very simple thing of a horrible disease, virus that is trying to kill you. They have politicized it and are saying that the governor, Whitmer, who I don't support anything she does except this, is trying to do this on purpose just for personal gain. They actually believe that. They think that she's intentionally trying to cut our freedom because she wants to treat us like we don't even deserve anything. It's an awful scenario, fueled by the craziness that is the far right. These fringe, wacko, lunatic kooks. Make no mistake, I'm a red stater, but I'm not like these pieces of shit trying to undermine this public health pandemic that we are experiencing right now, okay? Here's the story about what's happening.
Died from COVID-19. Wyoming was the only state where that hadn't happened until yesterday. It's also one of 7 states without a stay-home order in place. More than 26,000 people have died across the country, and we now have more than 600,000 cases.
And today, people are expected to flood to the Michigan.
Sorry, this is my friends at Wood TV8.
Capital, Lansing, to protest Governor Whitmer's stay-at-home order. They're calling this Operation Gridlock.
We have News 8's John Dommel in Lansing now. John, how will this protest be different than a typical demonstration?
Well, it's going to be more stupid than usual. They're always pretty dumb. This one is going to be even more stupid, though, because these dumb sons of bitches think that if they just get in their cars and drive around an area that already has no traffic, they're going to send a message to Lansing.
That's right. A couple of groups are calling on people to come out to the Capitol and protest from inside of their vehicles. And the plan is to tie up traffic.
The plan is to sit in your car with your windows rolled up and just scream like you're crazy.
Around the state capitol. Those 2 groups are the Michigan Conservative Coalition and Michigan Freedom Fund.
Yes.
And they say that the governor's
always a ring of Revolutionary War to it with words like Patriot and Minutemen and Revolution and Freedom. It's always that shit.
stay-at-home order goes too far, and with that order, there are some ground rules. Protesters should stay in their vehicles with 1 person per vehicle unless they live in the same household. An organizer...
I hope we get a rogue cop who flips his lid and puts a baton in somebody's face.
Encourage them to show off any flags or signs they've made. We talked to the Michigan Conservative Coalition ahead of the protest about their choice to call people to Lansing for the effort.
Now, this is the guy I talked about yesterday. He acts like he sounds reasonably together, but he's really fucked up. Listen to this.
People are basically being told what they can and cannot buy at stores. None of it makes sense. You can buy a bottle of liquor, but you can't buy a gallon of paint.
Stop right there. Yes, you can. You can absolutely go buy a can of paint. Any hardware store or store that is less than 50,000 square feet, you can buy those things. fertilizer, flowers, paint, paintbrushes, primer, masking tape. Yeah, you can. I found out yesterday, but this dick is too stupid to do the groundwork to find out what I'm about to tell you. That the reason why big box stores cannot sell that shit is because they were using this to their advantage. They were encouraging people to come to the store with big sales and advertising to come to their fucking gigantic stores in droves and buy this shit, okay? Which absolutely is counterintuitive to stopping a pandemic, fucko. They were this is a punishment. This is a punishment for their greed. That's why the AG and the state of Michigan did this. If you would have taken 1 minute to find out why, instead of spreading your hatred and your myths and your misinformation, this would have been a lot easier. But you chose to take this and make it a political football and try to undermine a very, very scary scenario. These idiots that are sitting there saying, we got to get back to work and freedom, freedom. The British are coming. Paul Revere, take to the streets. You know, you do realize that there was a time in this country when no one had COVID-19. Then this thing wasn't a thing. Now look back to that. It wasn't that long ago. Now, so many people have had it, or are dead, or are going to get it. So it's here. It's with us. You want to back off? Think about what happened to this country when only a handful of people had it. In no time, it crippled us. And now you want to open it up while it's still thriving and enjoying your lungs. It's eating your lungs. Let's go buy some paint. Shut up. That's what's happening here. And now's the time you want your freedom? You stupid dick.
We don't want anybody leaving their vehicles. We want to be respectful of people's health at this point, but at the same time, we want to have our voice be heard.
Oh, God. What a waste.
Whitmer has said that her primary focus is on protecting the public's health. We'll have full coverage of this protest throughout the day right here on News 8. Reporting live in Lansing, John Dommel, News 8.
Governor Whitmer is dealing with a lawsuit over that stay-home order.
Yes, check this out.
A lawyer filed it yesterday on behalf of 4 people and a lawn care business. They say the governor is violating the Constitution by closing businesses and restricting travel between homes. The attorney hopes it will get emergency attention. We talked to a Cooley Law School professor also who doesn't think the case will get very far.
Yeah, this is some lawyer who's trying to make a name for himself.
I think it is.
Not this guy. I think the first guy is the lawyer trying to make a name for himself.
It's definitely an emergency. People need to be out and doing what they need to be doing. You can't put the world on hold.
So yes, you can, and we will. I put a tweet out. I forgot the name of the person, but Bleeding Heart Brian had tweeted it, and so I saw it and grabbed it. It's a 7-part tweet. It's 7 different tweets from this very knowledgeable microbiologist or something who did a research paper on the effectiveness of social distancing from the Spanish flu and what it was like. The towns like St. Louis, Missouri, that did social distance during the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic, not only did they experience incredible amount less of death as, say, Philadelphia, which was like having parades and shit, they recovered economically much quicker than the cities that did not engage with social distancing and locking down. More than 100 years ago. So think about that. Less people died, and the recovery was quicker. Go out and mow lawn and act like an asshole. More die, longer economic recovery. So that's the highlights of it. Pay attention to what I just said, stupid. Stay in. It's going to suck. It's going to cause economic hardship, but less will die, and you're going to get it back quicker, fuckhead. go out, we all die, longer on the recovery. I mean, that's what happened. They can actually compare city to city because 100 years ago, not everybody was on board, just like now, and lots of cities paid for it. The ones that did adhere to the rules recovered more quickly. Why do you think in a state like California, which is the largest state in the country, nearly 40 million people, why do you think their death toll is far less than states that are much smaller? California should have no business having less deaths than, say, Michigan. What did they do? They locked down first one city, San Francisco, before anybody died, and shortly thereafter, the whole state. They have about 700 to 800 people that have died. It's 39 million people that live there. Michigan has almost 10 million people, and 1,700 people have died. What does that tell you, idiot? We should have locked it down earlier. Now we have to do it longer. They're going to recover much more quickly in California than we are in Michigan because their governor was more on top of it than our governor. You should be mad at Whitmer for not being on it earlier. You dumb idiot.
To say you think they have an uphill battle.
They have a very steep uphill battle. Yes,
that lawsuit.
The courts have said it does not apply. The idea of takings does not apply when the public power is being used to protect the public generally.
By the way, Trump came around.
The governor's office wouldn't comment on this, saying that they don't comment on pending litigation.
You see that Trump, he was speaking about that. He's like, because the day before, Trump was like, I am king. I'm in charge of everything. I decide when the states go back. And then somebody told him, I said, yeah, you kind of don't. She's the boss, so you should probably just let them do what they were put in office for. So then yesterday, he's like, yeah, states are in charge, and they're going to come back when they feel it's necessary to come back. Trump's in lockstep. The guy periodically will say stupid shit, like, I am king and my rule, and then somebody says, yeah, hey, dummy, that's not right. You don't have any authority. So Cuomo was like, yeah, I don't want to fight with you, and Whitmer's like, yeah, whatever, man. I got to worry about this thing over here. And then yesterday he comes around and says exactly that. He goes, yeah, the states are going to decide this. So all you dipshits on the far right, you wacko kook pieces of shit assholes, know that the president said, yeah, that's their baby. This is their job. I'm not even going to he's letting them do the heavy lifting. Good on him. That's a great move. All right. Locally, there's this guy. Oh, my God, does this guy need to be throat punched? There's an area in West Michigan called Byron Township. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a relatively small place. But there's this one dude. He's the Byron Township supervisor. I mean, who gives a fuck? This guy he's nothing in the political landscape. I think this loser was at one point a local state representative, Republican state representative. So he's one of these crackpots who spends way too much time writing these 50-page War and Peace length essays about freedom and Paul Revere and forefathers and Constitution and shit like that, and politicizing the virus. So he took to Facebook and wrote this book about, I'm not going to enforce what the governor says, man. I'm the Byron Township supervisor. Me, the saggy-faced, bulldog-looking motherfucker, is saying, go on out and do what you need to do. I had a big gathering at my house on Easter, so this clown is adding fuel to the fire to the wackos, which doesn't help anybody. Again, this isn't about who's right and who's wrong and you're an idiot and you're not. He is. And so are all of you that believe this. But this is about public health. This is about, I don't want the old couple to get sick. I don't want the kids to get sick. I don't even want you to get sick. Well, no, I kind of want you to get sick if it wouldn't affect others. But it does. So I don't want you to get sick. That's all this is about. But this idiot is so thick as a brick, as all of you are who believe this. Listen to this idiot.
And controversy continues surrounding our state's stay-at-home order. A post by the Byron Township supervisor had some people believing that it was back to business as usual in the township, but that is not the case. And it appears he would have no authority to do so anyway.
Hey, the Byron Township supervisor. All this guy does is says, all right, it's time for the It's time for the ribbon cutting. Gather round. I got the big scissors. That's all this piece of shit does. He's like the guy who throws the candy out at the parade. That's all. That's the only thing. He's the one who says, all right, this meeting is adjourned. And he hits the gavel. He goes out. He punches his wife and gets drunk. That's his job. All right?
News 8's Barton Dieters has this story.
The question here is whether a local official has any authority to override the state.
Welcome to the tractor pull. I'm the Byron Township supervisor. Now, remember, sit extra close to each other because I hate Gretchen Whitmer. And remember, no coughing in your elbow. You have to open up the person next to you's mouth and sneeze into their mouth. We're going to have a snowballing contest where you spit into the guy to your left's face. And then later on, we're going to see who can sneeze the farthest. Okay, this is COVID night at the tractor pull here in Byron Township. Remember, wipe your ass and smear it onto the back of the guy next to you. I don't know if you can catch it that way. I'm kind of running out of jokes.
Orders. A post from the Facebook page of Byron Township Supervisor and former Republican State Representative Tom Hooker raised a bit of a fuss in Southern Kent County. The post is sharply critical of Governor Gretchen Whitmer's executive orders, which he claims are an attempt to tank the...
You got to read this dick's post. I'll link it up for you in the comments of this page so you can read this madness.
...economy and damage the president, and also oversteps her authority.
Hold on a second. I got to back it up. I was too busy tough talking. Listen to what Barton's kind of paraphrased what the dude said in his post.
Orders which he claims are an attempt to tank the economy and damage the president.
So an elected official says Whitmer's telling you to stay home is trying to damage the economy. She's trying to damage the economy to hurt the president. That's what this idiot said.
Also oversteps her authority. He also says he encourages businesses like landscapers and lawn care to continue and, quote, I will not stop or fine them unless they're doing it against the owner's wishes.
As long as my...
Now, he has zero authority to say that, okay, to do that. There's nothing he can do. This is not his call.
Rights are not infringing on other people's rights. I have the freedom to do what I feel is safest for myself and for my family.
All right, but that has nothing to do with the post. We don't care what you do with your family. That you're right, yes, but we're talking about the post where you said, go on out and mow. So the landscape companies in and around this town were like, what, do we go to work now? So this is another example of stupid people spreading misinformation, and the victim is everybody who is affected by this health problem. He potentially hurt people with that post, okay? And I know I swear and rant and rave and joke, but he did that. He actually did that, and I think he should be arrested for that.
Township Resident Julie Hurley sympathizes with those impacted, but she says there's too much at stake.
I just don't think some of them are really fully understanding the impacts of what they're going back out into the community means for all of us.
Hooker said he's been inundated with support from the community.
From other stupid assholes. Okay, they're very loud. They stay in packs. They all need to be beaten. They all flock together. Okay.
After reading Hooker's post, here's a statement from the Michigan Attorney General's office. Quote, with all due respect to townships, a township supervisor does not play any direct role in enforcement of the executive order. A supervisor's position on the matter
is to cut ribbons and say all rise for the national anthem at the tractor pull.
Has no effect on the duty of law enforcement to uphold the law. We talked to Hooker a few hours after the post.
We talked to Hooker after Dana Nessel swatted him on the nose like the bitch puppy that he is.
Public.
It was not meant in any way to say that the township or that the board of Byron Township is giving license to do anything.
Yes, it was. Yes. Did you read your words? You absolutely did that. Now you're a liar. This is called backpedaling from a weak-kneed, tough-talking idiot, okay? He was just bashed right in the nose. He still has shit on his nose from getting his nose rubbed in it by the AG.
Illegal, according to the governor.
Hooker, who said he had
boy, he's toting the line now. Boy, that guy, they whipped him into shape pretty damn quick. That's all it took. Was one line email from the AG, and this wimp turns tail like that. Oh, this is embarrassing.
Family get-together on Easter still believes Whitmer is making a name for herself on the national stage.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
He says while the order may save lives, the costs have to be evaluated. He also said he stands behind everything he said.
Wait a minute. Though it may save lives, the costs have to be evaluated. We're getting a lot of these stories. It's like the too many of these people are like, yeah, you see, it's the options are suffering economically and being made uncomfortable and have to change my way of life in order to survive, or die. And I really got to put a real great bit of thought into this. I just don't know what to do. Be uncomfortable and compromise temporarily or die. Yeah, I'm going to have to get back with you on that. I don't have an answer. That's a tough call. Really? It is, huh?
The Post and
this is a guy that was representing us in our state for a period of time and now is the chief ribbon cutter in a community.
Advises people to just use common sense.
I cannot protect you from that. I can't use taxpayer money to defend you if that happens.
You can read the township supervisor's full statement at woodtv.com. In Byron Township, Barton Dieters, News 8.
Boy, he folded like a Portuguese man of war in that one. That was fantastic. What a wimp. Bit off a little bit more than you can chew. Hey there, Hooker. How you like them apples? Bam, right up to the glass. How you like them apples? Matt Damon, great scene. Boom. You like apples? Woo. Holy shit. God damn it. That tail, sorry. I said GD again. Damn it. GD it. That tail is between the legs. All right, I'm not done. Hell no, I'm not done. I'm just getting started on this shit. I was born to do this. This is what I'm learning. I was born to do this. As we all try to figure out what to do in the world, some of you do have businesses you're trying to figure out how to do this, and you're still afloat, or you're still working, or maybe you're doing great. I don't know. My podcast is about to pass the 1 million downloads / listens mark. And that's verified. I have the proof. I'm averaging 38,000 minutes of Facebook views a week. That's why all of these businesses have their signs over here. That's why all of these clients have me talking about them. If your business wants in, the only thing you got to do is send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. I sell the show. I come up with customized marketing plans. I produce the show. I write the show. I do the show. It's all me and all you, the audience, the businesses, and this. If you want in, send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. We will begin that process. It is meticulous. I take my time. There is zero pressure. I tell you what I can do for you, how I do it. I provide you with names and references of my sponsors so you can ask them how it's worked for them. You believe that? There is no one in marketing who does that. Not one. There isn't one other person who says, yeah, I want you to call Megan from Irvine's, Mario from the Mario Flores agency, Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I want you to call the Gilberts at Blue Frost. I want you to call Jacob at Bennett Flooring. I want you to call Joe Martinez at A&E Heating and Cooling. I want you to call Rick over at TC Paintball. I want you to talk to the folks over at Johnson's Carpet One, Horizon Hydroponics, Back Alley Comedy Club, Riverbend Body Shop, and ask them how it's working. And then you're going to call me back and say, you were right, Zane. I checked your references. I encourage you to do that. Let me know, and I can help you get your message out for about 1/10 of the cost of radio. No shit, man. That's why all my businesses, which are most are moms and pops, they keep coming back because I price it accordingly. At the end of the day, it's still just a freaking podcast. But I don't have to share the dough with anybody. So that means it's dirt cheap for you, and it keeps me doing this. You can buy an RV or a motorhome at Terrytown RV online. TerrytownRV.com. They have adapted their business model to do business that way. And I tell you what, you got some great deals there at TerrytownRV.com. Let me check with the staff here. Hold on. I got to make sure I got the right website. TerrytownRV.com. How they're handling, look, it says right on their page. How Terrytown is responding to COVID-19. I'm going to read right from it. Terrytown RV Superstore has been designated an essential business. You're like, what? Because many of our owners rely on their RVs for shelter, transportation, or quarantine. As such, Terrytown RV's service department remains open to provide essential RV services, repairs, and parts. This includes electrical, plumbing, heating, and cooling, sanitation, LP, fuel, and all other RV systems essential for living. As a business identified as being essential critical infrastructure, workforce, and guidance published by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Terrytown RV has enacted the requirements of Michigan's executive order to keep our customers and employees safe. In compliance with this order, Terrytown RV has designated those employees critical to conduct basic operations and serve our customers and community. Any employees who choose to remain at home during the time specified by the executive order have been allowed to do so. Those whose job descriptions can be permitted remotely have also been given the opportunities to work from home. Many full-time RVers who are returning from the South require prompt repairs as they arrive at their summer locations in Michigan. Terrytown RV will be available to assist and support. So that is great. You want to buy one? Do it online at terrytownrv.com, or at least shop, Travel trailer, fifth wheel, folding camper, motorhome, doesn't matter. Class A, Class C, diesel, gas. I got it all at Terrytown RV, damn it. And before you know it, we're going to be out camping again. Last but not least, I was mentioning, and the podcast isn't done. It's just my last sponsor. The business model, boy, I tell you what they sure are lucky that at Horizon Hydroponics they had this in place, because it's always been that you could shop online there, anywhere in the country. They are the place anywhere in the country where you want to buy all of the stuff to keep your stuff that you're growing inside growing. All right, hell, some of you are growing food. Well, good thing that they had that infrastructure all set up, because that's the primary way they do business now. Two things. You can buy it online at horizonhydroponics.com, HORIZEN, hydroponics.com. Anywhere in the country, buy it and it's shipped to you. How about that? Or if you are physically in West Michigan, Lansing or Kalamazoo, you call whatever store you want to buy it from, and then pay for it over the phone, and you drive up, throw it in your trunk, and you leave. Maybe wave to the guy who's 10 feet away from you and saying, hey, how you doing? He could probably give you some advice there as long as there's required distance between you two. They're taking every precaution there. Some of you folks are indoors, and cannabis is blooming, and you're like, man, is this awesome? Holy cow, you're going to be the most popular person at the social distance party. Here, let me throw you a joint from 10 feet away. Light it up, take a hit, and then throw the lit joint. I want to see that party. Record that video and send it to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. The Eric Zane Show podcast, joint throwing. All right, thank you to them. There's some idiotic things that we need to cover on this podcast, in addition to the ones I've already talked about. These are just quick hitters. It doesn't have a whole lot of me beating a dead horse. I've pretty much done my damage for the day, rightfully and proudly so. But there's an asshole from Indiana. What is this idiot's name? Trey Hollingsworth, member of Congress. And I've been hearing a lot of stupid things lately in the news from people regarding this. And, you've got people coughing on others for no apparent reason, people hoarding masks, and terrible things like that. But this is an elected official who is not happy of the economic problems that are being caused by the country and the state that it's in. Trey Hollingsworth, when talking about all of this, said Tuesday that letting more Americans die is the lesser of two evils when compared with the economy cratering due to social distancing. Oh, my God. When I see stories like this, first of all, I get very angry. And then I'm so overwhelmed with the stupidity, I have a hard time even contemplating it or knowing where to even begin to discuss it with you. It's that painful. It's so awkwardly dumb, but at the same time, I'm enraged that a person would even say it, let alone an elected official who is just inciting other idiots who are thinking, well, what are we going to do? We just got to get back to normal, and Representative Hollingsworth said so let's go out and do it. It's so ridiculous. He was on radio station WIBC in Indiana. He said while he appreciated the science behind the virus spread, it's coming when they start with that. Well, while I appreciate it, it is always the American government's position to say, in the choice between the loss of our way of life as Americans and the loss of life of American lives, we have to always choose the latter. Man, I don't believe that. That there are a group of people, and I think that maybe the wackos might think that, like they would rather die than be in their homes. They actually believe that. But fortunately, they only represent a small fraction of the population that is the wackos and the fringe, who should probably die in the first place. But anyway, this guy writes, the social sciences are telling us about the economic disaster that is going on. Our gross domestic product is supposed to be down 20% alone this quarter, Hollingsworth said. It is policymakers' decision to put on our big boy and big girl pants and say it is the lesser of these two evils. It is not zero evil, but it is the lesser of these two evils, and we intend to move forward in that direction. That is our responsibility, and to abdicate that is to insult the Americans that voted us into office. Well, I don't think Trump feels that way, as evidenced by his comments yesterday when he said, yeah, it's the governor's decision. We're going to let them. You have no say in this. You have nothing to do with this. Let's see. Hollingsworth told CNN in a statement provided by his office later Tuesday that, well, it was hyperbole to say that the only choices before us are the two corner solutions, no economy or widespread casualties. So more backpedaling. So this idiot said it, and now he's like, oh, boy, I shouldn't have said that. Come on. And finally, you've heard about, COVID-19, so it's time to be let out of jail. Which, it's like, boy, I don't know, man. Maybe. I guess it's possible on a case-by-case basis. If you don't have a violent history, perhaps. Perhaps if you don't have tattoos on your face and no violent history of felonies. Perhaps. Joseph Edward Williams doesn't meet any of those criteria. He's a violent felon, and he has tattoos on his face. So when the threat of coronavirus hit the county that he lives in Florida, of course, it would stand to reason that he would stay behind bars. But no. Now, this story is about a month old, but it's just surfacing now. Joseph Williams was let out because of the coronavirus. He was originally arrested March 13th for heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia. He has a long rap sheet. He spent most of his life behind bars. The latest was because of that. So, he's going to wait in there until it's his time to face the music. But a little bit of time passed, and they're like, all right, the jails are infected. We got to let people out. 6 days later, Joseph Edward Williams, with a long rap sheet, tattoos on his face, and a violent offender, they let him out to curb the spread of the virus. Of course, it's Florida, and they think differently there. There you go. They let out to protect the inmates and the staff. I would like to ask, what else are they going to do? And it's like, well, I think if you have tattoos on your face and you're a violent offender, you don't get that benefit. And you just hope that nothing happens. And if in the event that they are infected, then they get a cell all by themselves, and you slide the shit through the fucking plexiglass, and you smell you later, right? Well, Joseph Williams took, according to this quote, there is no question Joseph Williams took advantage of this health emergency to do what he did because one day later he killed somebody. That's exactly right. He's back locked up, facing several new charges, including second-degree murder. He got a gun and killed somebody. One day after this dumb idiot got out of jail. On March 20th, police investigating reports of gunshots in a Tampa neighborhood found a man who was dead at the scene. Williams arrested Sunday in connection with the case. In addition to second-degree murder, facing several new charges, including resisting a cop, felon in possession of a firearm, possession of heroin and drug paraphernalia. Less than 24 hours, this all happened. My God. Judges, prosecutors, and sheriffs around the country are facing difficult decisions during this health crisis with respect to balancing public health and public safety. Well, way to go, dummy. Not anymore, because if I'm in charge of the jail setup wherever, I just take Joseph Edward Williams as a template, and I say, yeah, no more. Repeat offender, felon, tattoos on the face. You stay put going forward. No more getting out early. That's how I feel. All right, we're just scratching the surface on the podcast. We've got more coming up in the Patreon bonus. A live stream, video. We're going Going to draw for Fear Bunker Trivia Challenge, brought to you by Bennett Flooring Installation for a $50 prize. You want in, you got to join me on patreon.com/Eric Zane. Sorry to that guy that Stu pissed off. Jesus, what are you doing, Stu? Making fun of the guy's wife, stupid idiot. We'll also draw for Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia on the Patreon. All there and a whole lot more podcasting set to come on the day. Okay. My God, that's a 2-hour podcast. Thanks, folks. I appreciate you for being here with me. I can do this all day. We'll talk to you next time down the road. Bye-bye.